and what's and whys and wherefores. Here you'll find your what-nots and therefores. So come on along, let's find out what's going on. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what your taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news. Where's and when's and who's and what's it's. No matter what you taste, you can trust it's the place where you can find all your new Disney news.
Welcome to the Sweet Spot Current Events Edition as of July 21st, 2023.
All right. So glad to be here.
Yes, my name is Lynn, and Ken is my co-host.
All right.
We are both former Disneyland Custodial cast members, and we talk Disneyland. This is the episode where we talk about the latest and greatest in the Disneyland Current Events News segment that we record. And we kind of put in our opinions on some of the stories, and Ken brings these to us. And it's a lot of fun. Our main topic, we usually talk to former cast members, authors, historians, former Imagineers, just a whole bunch of different things that are related to Disneyland. And I think you should go back and listen to a lot of our episodes. We're up to 364 now, and there's just a lot of great episodes to go back and listen to.
It's hard to believe.
It really is.
It's not hard to believe that they're great to listen to. It's hard to believe it's been 364. I mean, it's
a lot of hours.
Yeah. You've done a lot. You've put in a lot of work, Lynn. It's impressive.
So. Well, thank you. We are also authors of the books Queen of the Kingdom, and you can get those books signed on our website, thesweepspot.com. And those are, we've talked all about the books before. We talk every episode, we kind of mention them, but you can get those on our website, and you can get the digital copies on Kindle and the audiobooks on Audible, and they're great books. A lot of people seem to really enjoy them. So
yeah.
If you'd like to help support our show, we'd really appreciate it, and it helps us out. We don't charge a subscription to listen, and we don't have the YouTube to support us like some of the other content creators over on YouTube have. So we have bills to pay, and it really does help us out. We appreciate it. So for $5 or more a month, you can get one bonus episode that Ken and I record every month, various topics surrounding Disneyland. And also once a month, you can join us for our current events edition. So this is our current event show now that you're listening to. Once a month, we do this show. When we record the current events, you have a chat room going on in the background, and sometimes I'll include some of those comments, and sometimes the chat room kind of goes off on its own, talking about Disneyland also. So it seems to be a lot of fun for everyone that's been a part of it, and hope that you will join us soon too. And to join that, you can go to Patreon and search The Sweet Spot, or you can go to our website, thesweetspot.com, and look for the Patreon link there. I do want to mention one thing before we get started is I'm a travel planner for Concierge. I've been doing that for over a year now, and we're doing a promotion right now. I also want to mention something before that is we don't charge for our services to plan your vacation. Disney pays us, not you. And we can book, trips to Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, Alani, Adventures by Disney, Universal, also. So, we can do Disneyland Paris. So this is a time to start thinking about, I know it's kind of hard to think like that you should be planning for Christmas or even planning for beyond that. But right now, if you're thinking of going to Disneyland around Thanksgiving or Christmas and December, you want to see all the decorations and everything, great things they have it during the holiday season. Now is the time. And Concierge, we're doing a promotion right now. It only goes, by the time this comes out, you only have a couple days to be involved in this promotion. And what it is if you book a package with us, and you have to go to Disney, I think it's 2 days. Disney World, I think it's 3. And so like tickets, hotel, you get a $50 Disney gift card just by booking. So if you book it before the 24th of July, but the vacation doesn't have to take place during that time. It can take place in the future. Like if you're going to do a Disney cruise, we're already booking cruises for next year, 2024. So you could book a cruise for next year and be included in this promotion. Same with Walt Disney World. There's bookings into 2024 going on right now. So if you're thinking of Walt Disney World next year, you can get $50 gift card. Disneyland hasn't opened up their dates yet for 2024, but that's going to happen very soon. But if you're thinking of going to Disneyland this holidays, you can book. And then also what you get is you get entered into a drawing to receive 1 free night hotel stay. So like if you book at the Disneyland Hotel, a package, and you get your $50 gift card, and then you get entered in this package, and if your name is drawn, then you get 1 night. Say if you had a 3-night stay, you only pay for 2 nights. So to do that, you can contact me at Barron@concierge.com, or if you go to the concierge website, you can fill out the form there, put on all your information. You can put that you'd like to work with Lynn, and they will send you my way. I'd love to work with you. All right. Enough of that. I think we're going to get right into, speaking of concierge, Eric from Concierge is going to bring us the D180, and then we'll get right into our current events.
Hello everyone, this is Eric Johnson with Concierge, and welcome to the D180. While Ken and Lynn cover all things Disneyland, in the D180 we take a spin around the rest of the Disney universe, and we do it in 180 seconds. So let's jump right in. We start our journey in Papenburg, Germany at the Meyer-Werft shipyards. We don't normally start here, but that's what the teleprompter says, so I have to read it. Oh, yes, it's because the Disney Treasure, Disney Cruise Line's 6th ship, is well on its way to seaworthy status at the shipyard. The first steel cutting ceremony took place back on January 19th, part of a long tradition in shipbuilding that dates back to when wooden ships sailed the seas. The ship really is coming together in the latest updates. The bridge was the final major component installed a few weeks ago. Now the builders are adding interior walls, windows, and all of those great Disney embellishments. The latest announcement gave us statues at the stern, that's the back end, to accompany Aladdin on the front. That's the bow, I think. Peter Pan, it seems, has taken the paint used to create the Disney Treasure logo and doused Captain Hook with all of that paint. These two continue their chase in 2 statues affixed to the stern. The back. I think I'm getting this. The Disney Treasure will have very similar design to the Disney Wish that set sail last year. Look forward to its first booking sometime in 2024. Well, hey, let's head on over to the Tokyo Disney Resort for that newest fad that I found out about way too late. It's Mickey Long Bread. This has been hitting the socials since May, but the young people I trust to tell me about cool things did not do so until this week. Enough already, you shout. Get to the bread, you say. Mickey Long Bread is apparently a long piece of bread with butter and salt flavor. It is shaped like the silhouette of Mickey Mouse when it is viewed as a long piece of bread, but when you cut a slice, you have a Mickey-shaped slice of bread. You can buy it at Tokyo Disneyland to be enjoyed at home. That's kind of it. Though there are some recipes included, I'm pretty sure I can make some rad French toast with it on my own. But wait! There's more Mickey-shaped food to discuss. Mickey fans at Disneyland Paris can purchase sandwiches at the newly rethemed Cable Car Bake Shop with buns in the shape of Mickey Mouse. This Main Street dining location recently reopened with a menu featuring many new dishes featuring cheese. And also Mickey buns. Mickey-shaped buns, I should clarify. Shaped like his silhouette, not, yeah. And hey, while you're in Disneyland Paris, dream of their new Frozen-themed land soon to open. Bob Iger recently visited and gave the thumbs up on this new land. If you want even more Frozen in a land, you'll have to head to Hong Kong Disneyland. The park's Imagineers recently boasted about their nearly complete land that will be the biggest Frozen-themed land in any Disney park. Take that, Disneyland Paris! Hong Kong Disneyland aims to open their land first as well. It will include a new version of Epcot's Frozen Ever After and a roller coaster called Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs. Dining and merchandise locations round out the land, but the pictures we have seen of construction suggest that the decor will be its biggest asset. Get ready to feel like you're in Epcot's Norway Pavilion on a grand scale, or, I guess, Norway. And that's 180 seconds. I hope you enjoyed our quick spin around the rest of the Disney universe. If you would like to learn more about these Disney adventures or just have a few questions, please come on over. Visit the social media and websites of both the Sweep Spot and Concierge. Then reach out to Lynn, your personal travel planner. He looks forward to planning something special for you and your family. For Concierge, I am Eric Johnson, and this has been your D180.
Looking to book a vacation to Disneyland Resort, Walt Disney World Resort, Disney Cruise Line, Disney Alani, Disneyland Paris, Adventures by Disney, Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Studios Orlando, then I can do that for you. If you contact me and we can talk about all the different options and dates, and we can kind of even make recommendations on which days might be the best for you to go. And also as a complimentary, when you book with us, we will book your dining for you if you'd like, special events. And we also, when we book a vacation for you, we just don't say have a good time after we book it for you. We are there every step of the way. We contact you before your trip to make sure everything's squared away. We even have a checklist to make sure that you have everything you need. Reservations, dining, all these different things. Your transportation, if you need help with that from the airport, any of those sort of things, we can help you with that too. We want to make the vacation the best it can be for you, because I know that vacations aren't cheap, and we can help you do that. So if you contact me, that's Lynn, and the email is lbarron@concierge.com. That's LBARRON @concierge.com. Or you can go to the sweepspot.com, and there's a link on our front page there. You can click on that, and there's information on how to contact me. But I'd love to talk to you and help you book the best vacation possible. Now we're going to have the current events. Ken, what do you have for us?
Well, Lynn, there's a few things. Let's see. I wanted to get back to the ongoing saga of the Oogie Boogie Bash. So, Disneyland sells out of Oogie Boogie Bash tickets in 12 hours after, quote, nightmare, end quote, sales launch. And that was from the Orange County Register. It's a Brady McDonald story. And as Brady reported, Oogie Boogie Bash fans who waited 12 hours in a nightmare virtual queue to buy tickets only to experience online system errors and find all the dates sold out fumed on social media about Disneyland's quote-unquote epic fail. Disneyland sold out of... Now, that's really scary. Disneyland sold out of every available date for Oogie Boogie Bash in September and October. On the first day, tickets went on sale to the general public on Tuesday, July 11th. Fans who anxiously waited for a chance to buy tickets to the wildly popular Halloween event fretted all day as they watched dates repeatedly sell out on the Oogie Boogie Bash website. Later on, it says, fuming fans took to social media to vent their anger at Disneyland's hashtag epic fail.
Well,
what is Disney supposed to do? I mean,
I was going to say, is it a fail because they didn't get tickets?
There's two separate issues here. They had the failed ticket selling launch. Okay, that was one issue.
Right.
but then selling. I mean, what are the options here? Disney can try adding more dates, but then you're in August, right? You know.
Yeah, I guess you could do it more nights because they're not every night, you know, like the 5th, 7th, 10th, 12th, like they could do the 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, you know.
Well, I'm sure there's okay, what are the reasons they're not doing it every night?
Well,
there's
theme park, yeah, like busy. If you do it on busy nights, like a Saturday night, I don't know if they are. I don't know what these dates are, but
the daytime guests are deprived.
Right.
I mean, they could raise ticket prices, but everybody would be grumbling about that.
Or it could go later. They could start because DCA closes at like 10. They could start it at like 8 and have a mix in and then go till like 2. I don't know.
There's just no easy solution for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice problem to have that your events are so popular that people are really ticked off that they couldn't get tickets.
Right.
You know, that's a good, you know, it could be that nobody cares, you know, and you try to have an event and like not enough people want to go.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They could start it in August. I mean, maybe not the beginning of August, but maybe mid to late August.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, Laughing Place covered that story as well. As usual, we'll have links to all these stories on our current events portion of our website at thesweepspot.com, so you can click through and see the whole thing if you'd like.
I do want to say one thing on that. I am hearing a lot of talk of people trying to get tickets, and there is tickets being sold like on eBay and different places.
Yeah.
I would not take a chance with any of that because technically they're not supposed to be
they're non-transferable, right? I mean, that's and there is a story. I didn't include it because I just, you know, at some point I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, you know, how many stories am I going to include?
Right.
The Register had a story saying, you know, don't try buying tickets on eBay. You know, Disney's watching and that sort of thing. And
yeah,
it could be scammers and.
Yeah, you just don't want to waste your money and not be able to get in. And
yeah, it's I can understand, you know, it's a popular event, people want to go, and you spend all day waiting online trying to buy tickets, and not fun. But well, you know, the San Francisco Square is coming along over at DCA, and MiceChat.com. The Dusty Sage has the Disneyland Guide, San Francisco Square in Disney California Adventure. And it says here that San Francisco from Big Hero 6 is taking over the Pacific Wharf area of DCA. The updated land will open in phases beginning July 2023 with an official opening day of August 31st. It will include a character meet and greet for Baymax and friends, refreshed themed throughout the land, and new menus in the restaurants. So if you want to get the particulars on the food and the merchandise and everything, you can go check that out. I don't want to go into detail about that.
It looks good. I mean, everything they're doing, I think it's appropriate. I mean, it's a fairly popular movie, and the theme fits well. I just, you know, when I first heard it, I thought, oh, really? Do we need more? Everything needs an IP. Everything needs to be, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
I kind of get it. You know, there's synergy is important, and yeah.
Well, how popular was that corner of the park before? I mean,
right.
Nobody's really going, hey, let's go over there. I mean, I'm sure there's people who enjoy it, but it's not like, you know, hey, we gotta go over there and see that, you know?
Yeah.
So, but speaking of highly anticipated changes, the Orange County Register does have a story with the headline, Disneyland reveals new details about the Adventureland Treehouse. And this was Brady McDonald reporting, and he says a family of 5 who possess magical and unique gifts that help them survive life in the jungle will soon be moving into the Adventureland Treehouse, once Disneyland completes a 2-year makeover of the 80-foot tall man-made tree. And as it says later in the story, the new backstory for the rethemed Disneyland attraction finds the treehouse serving as a home to a family of 5, each with a unique gift that helps them survive in the jungle. The chef father has built a kitchen where meals cook themselves, and magical water fed by a water wheel cools an icebox. The musical mother has a player organ in her room that plays Swiss polka in an homage to Disneyland's original Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. The teenage daughter is an astronomer and astrologer whose room near the top of the treehouse is filled with diagrams of the stars and models of the universe. The naturalist twin sons, one an animal lover and the other a plant lover, share a room filled with monkeys, toucans, and man-eating plants. So, which movie is this based on?
It sounds good.
Not
It
everything
sounds
needs
like
to be based on a movie.
sounds like they're including a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff, the things that were fan favorites of the Swiss Family Treehouse that they had taken out. You know, they mentioned the water wheel and the music. You know, those were things that I enjoyed about the ride that made it fun. Yeah.
And Tony Betty reported on that over at laughingplace.com. I think that's where the register got their info. It's because as the story over there says, Imagineer Kim Irvine shares details about the new Adventureland Treehouse with Disney parks around the globe travelers. There's this thing, this Disney parks around the globe travelers. There's this whole trek going on as we record with the with some of the cover, some of the website reporters on Disney, and I'm sure some other people are part of this junket that's going on. And so, yeah, they're getting some details of different things at different Disney destinations around the world. And as it says later down in the story here, it says the Adventureland Treehouse will showcase wondrous new environments created amongst the branches of a giant tree on the shores of the Jungle River, where guests will once again enter by the giant water wheel and follow the wood rope stairways up into the boughs. Here, you will find fascinating rooms that the family in this new story created for one another, from the mother's music den, as depicted in the concept art, and the young son's nature room, to the teenage daughter's astronomer's loft. All things are fashioned from found objects, natural resources, and pure ingenuity. For those who would rather stay on terra firma, the bottom floor will showcase an ingenious kitchen and dining room, along with the father's art studio displaying hand-drawn sketches and paintings of each of the rooms. So, in other words, if you're using like a wheelchair or some mobility device and you're not going to go up the stairs, you can still see what's up there, you know.
Oh, good.
So yeah, that's nice. Well, I know you were excited, and here we are. It's July, and Laughing Place has a video that they have. They can, like I said, you can click through to see it. Disneyland celebrates 68th birthday with traditional anniversary moment and character cavalcade. So they didn't, you know, they're not doing a big thing this year. They're just day of the 17th. They, you know, they had the characters out and they did all that, and you can go see how it turned out if you want to see that. Happy birthday to Disneyland. Yay.
Yeah, you think in 2 years they'll do something big, maybe?
They've got to. It's a number divisible by 10.
Yeah. I know 75
70th
is kind of a bigger one than 70 usually, right? Like 25 and
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I hope they do something. Yeah.
They should. They need to be, and planning should be underway already.
Yeah, like maybe a new parade, new fireworks show, maybe a new attraction will open that year.
Give away a Geo Metro every day. No,
giveaway. Yeah,
can't do that anymore. They're gone.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
The laughingplace.com did report Mike Mack over there had a story, stars of Disney's Haunted Mansion surprise guests at the classic Disneyland attraction. So before the strike hit, the actors from the movie were seen in the parks, and as it says here, Lakeith Stanfield, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Owen Wilson became cast members for the day at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland to surprise guests. The 3 stars of the new film Haunted Mansion ushered foolish mortals into the iconic stretching room and into their doom buggies. I wonder if they made them pay ride operator union dues. I don't know.
And clock out and clock out for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Make them clock out. That must have been fun,
Yeah, it looks like if you were just happened to be there, that would be a nice surprise. I had mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I did have an encounter with Jamie Lee Curtis once when working out in the Esplanade, and just kind of doing my thing. Yeah, I was just kind of sweeping along out there, and I hear this "Good morning."
You wrote a book. You should have included that in there.
I should have. Yeah, I hear this "Good morning," and I looked up, and it was Jamie Lee Curtis. I said, "Oh, good morning," and she smiled and said hi. So I mean, she didn't have to, so it says something for her.
Oh, she wasn't. I thought she was going to ask you something. She didn't ask you anything.
No, she just
said good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, she didn't have to. We were the only ones in the pathway, but still,
that's cool. I mean, now see if if it had happened to me, I would have said, "Hey, guess what? I grew up where you filmed the original Halloween movie."
Yeah.
I grew up real close to there, or like like a few streets over. But so okay. So speaking of the Haunted Mansion, Walt Disney Imagineer Kim Irvine teases new magic coming to the Haunted Mansion. And Mike Celestino over at laughingplace.com reported on this. Said Walt Disney Imagineering's director of concept design, Kim Irvine, spoke about the history of the Haunted Mansion and teased the addition of new magic to the attraction. Kim Irvine is the daughter of Disney animator Harvey Toombs of Sleeping Beauty and Lady and the Tramp and Dumbo and others, and Imagineer Leota Toombs, who played the face of fortune teller Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion, as well as the voice of Little Leota at the end of the attraction. Kim filled in for her mother in the role for the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay. And here's a quote from Kim Irvine. "Haunted Mansion is my favorite attraction, and I think you all know why. Because being the daughter of the famous Madame Leota and being able to fill in for her for The Nightmare Before Christmas makes it special, but it's also special to me because I just think it's the best attraction that we have ever designed. It is so amazing and full of ideas that when we look back in our archives, the ideas of Raleigh Crump and Mark Davis and Claude Coates and the amazing dream team that Walt Disney put together, we find all of these things that we can still add to the mansion. It's just this wealth of opportunities and technology finally caught up with the brilliance of Yale Gracie installing the Hatbox Ghost. We're always looking for new things for Haunted Mansion, so I hope you look forward to some of those as well." Who knows what's actually going to happen? We'll have to see if anything happens that, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There's photos, if you click through, that elements from Goofy's How to Playhouse already removed, while Donald's boat has yet to open in Mickey's Toontown. Yikes. So let's see what the story here says. It's another Tony Betty story at Laughing Place. Though the newly renovated Mickey's Toontown at Disneyland Park only opened earlier this year, regular visitors to the land that Toons built are quickly noticing that new experiences as part of the renovation from Goofy's Bounce House / Goofy's Playhouse, now Goofy's How to Playhouse, have already been removed. New playground equipment or playground style equipment that was installed as part of the new experience has been removed with no replacement to be seen. The Sprinkle Spring 5000s, more like a spring-loaded seesaw themed to oversized lawn sprinklers in Goofy's yard, are no longer available. Nearby, oversized plants that serve as sit-and-spin style fun are still in place. While those pieces may already be gone, adjacent to Goofy's yard is an experience that has not opened since the land opened to the public and still remains behind construction walls and tarps. We haven't seen what is happening at the splash pad at Donald's boat since the land reopened earlier this year.
Yeah.
No date to splash in Donald's boat area has been released at this time, and no official word has been shared on the return of the removed play equipment at Goofy's house.
Well, sometimes you don't.
Too much wear and tear.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Until it has a chance to open or not, there's just so many things that could happen that. Yeah.
In theory, these things get tested, but
yeah,
I guess when you've got to see how it's actually going to work out when it's thousands and thousands of people per day are involved. Speaking of things not working like they were intended, Disneyland replaces Fantasmic with floating jazz band while 45-foot dragon is repaired. And this is Brady McDonald again in the Orange County Register reporting. And he says the Jambalaya Jazz Band will perform nightly on the rivers of America starting on Friday, July 21st, while Disneyland crews work to repair the 45-foot tall Fantasmic animatronic dragon that burst into flames during a performance of the Nighttime Spectacular in April. Disneyland promises additional entertainment will be coming soon to New Orleans Square. In May, that alternate summer entertainment would be coming soon while Fantasmic was on hiatus. The latest Disneyland announcement about the Jambalaya Jazz River Residency. Okay, sorry. Something got jumbled up there. Not sure what happened. The New Orleans Square musical set the typical new musical act that typically provides atmosphere entertainment during the day along the Rivers of America waterfront will move onto a river raft for 3 shows per night. Jambalaya Jazz will perform nightly at 7:35 p.m., 8:30 p.m., and 9:05 p.m. aboard a raft on the man-made river encircling Tom Sawyer Island. The river-bound Jambalaya Jazz performances of high-energy New Orleans tunes and familiar Disney songs are expected to continue through at least Halloween. Remember
they used to do this before Fantasmic? They'd have the jazz band play on the... They did that for a long time, and then they kind of stopped doing it for a while. But remember, they used to do that all the time through the 90s. And
well, what it says here later in the story that this is all depending on good guest behavior. If the guests don't behave well, it's going to be a polka group.
Oh
no, I'm just kidding. So
Well, that's cool. I'm glad they added something, but this was something that they had done in the past, and
yeah. That it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and they've got that space, but I kind of like having the Mark Twain being able to run at night.
Yeah,
So
that is nice.
So MiceChat.com covers that story as well as other entertainment news. Christy Weinberg did a story, so you can click through and see everything that's happening with, like for instance, the fireworks shows and all that sort of thing, or the shows that sometimes include fireworks, I should say. And the moment you've been waiting for is finally here, as the Disney Parks blog is reporting. New Disney Junior and Friends Playdate event coming to Disneyland Resort August 18th through the 20th. So Gabriel Gabaldi, Double G, reported on that. And as it says here, Disney Junior and Friends Playdate, a 3-day event celebrating the magical, entertaining, and music-filled stories of Disney Junior's hit series, will bring the magic straight to preschoolers and their families at DCA on Friday, August 18th, and at Downtown Disney on Saturday, August 19th, and Sunday, August 20th. The celebration will kick off on Friday, August 18th at DCA, and will feature a Playdate party parade featuring beloved Disney Junior characters, including Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Doc McStuffins, Sophia the First, Elena of Avalar, Donald Duck, Daisy Duck, Vampirina, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Goofy, Pluto, and Myra, Royal Detective. So I'm familiar with most of those. I wasn't familiar with the Royal Detective.
I don't know.
There's going to be a special stage show. There's going to be seasonal Alice's Wonderland Bakery on birthday party. There's going to be Spidey and his amazing friends photo wall. And plus you can enjoy regular Disney Junior programming, including the popular Disney Junior's dance party. The fun moves to Downtown Disney, and that'll include some treats at the Marceline Confectory, a Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures photo wall, and throughout the weekend, guests will be able to participate in a find and search experience featuring Disney Junior themed clues around DCA on Friday and Downtown Disney on Saturday and Sunday. So I know you've been waiting for that, Lynn, and I have too. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good.
I've never been in Disney Junior, that show. Have you ever been in there and seen a show?
I've been in there. Yeah, we did that when my kids were a lot younger.
We didn't. Yeah.
So they, I think that's what it was. It was something inside there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, in something that should not surprise anybody, Disney extends CEO Bob Iger's contract through 2026. And Bloomberg reported that, Thomas Buckley, but it was carried on the Register. That's where I found it. Burbank-based Walt Disney Company extended the contract of Chief Executive Officer Bob Iger for another 2 years, giving the longtime executive more time to implement his turnaround plan and find a successor. Under the new arrangement, Iger will remain CEO through December 31st, 2026. See, I'm telling you, the timing is so that he can go to candlelight. Iger, 72, returned to run the entertainment giant in November after previously serving as CEO for 15 years. At the time, he was given a 2-year deal expiring in December 2024. In addition to improving Disney's profitability, he was charged with helping to find his replacement, a critical process for any company, but one that the company has bungled in recent years. Yeah, gosh, if you think about that over the years, what, how has that been done? I mean, you had, after Roy Disney passed, Roy Oliver Disney, the guys that were in place, they took over, and you had that from like end of 1971 to you end up with Ron Miller,
right?
And then in 1984 he gets ousted, and Michael Eisner and Frank Wells are brought in. Roy Edward Disney was instrumental in that, and then eventually Frank Wells dies young, and Michael Eisner's still there for, and after a while, Roy E. Disney gets fed up again. he tries to oust Eisner, and then so you end up with Bob Iger. Yeah,
interesting.
So I mean, are we going to face another situation like that, or is Bob Iger going to find somebody who can really do the job? I
don't know. I mean,
it would be. I think it'd be best in the short term if he finds somebody, if he gets somebody in place who can really do the job well, as opposed to he dies, or he should live and be well. I don't want him to, I want him to have a long, happy retirement.
Yeah.
But, or get into a situation where major investors start demanding his ouster. I think it's better for the company in the short run that it be something that's more smooth, and, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that inevitably affects Disneyland, which is why I included it.
Oh yeah.
In contrast to Bob's contract, the Register was reporting, and this is Scott Schwebke. I might be butchering that name, but he reports that Disney workers could receive $20 an hour following court ruling. And the story is that Disney cast members could see their pay increase to nearly $20 an hour following a California appellate court ruling this week that found that the resort illegally skirted a 2018 voter-approved living wage measure. Measure L required businesses that receive subsidies from Anaheim to raise wages to at least $15 an hour in 2019, with $1 annual increases through 2022 and cost of living hikes after that. Cast members sued in 2019, arguing the measure applied to Disney, but the company had failed to follow it. Then in October 2021, Orange County Superior Court Judge William D. Classer said that while Disney benefited from 1996 agreements with Anaheim that use hotel taxes to pay debt on a parking structure for Disneyland visitors, those agreements don't constitute a tax rebate or a subsidy as described in the ballot measure. On Thursday, July 13th, a 3-judge panel for California's 4th Appellate District disagreed with that interpretation. Under an agreement tied to the parking structure deal, Disney agreed that if there was any year in which the city's incremental tax revenues failed to meet its bond obligations, Disney would make up the shortfall. Additionally, the parties agreed Disney would be reimbursed for its shortfall payments in those years when the city's incremental tax revenues rebounded. And here's a quote: "Consequently, Disney receives a city subsidy within the meaning of the living wage ordinance, and it is therefore obligated to pay its employees the designated minimum wages," the appellate panel ruled. Thus, we reversed the trial court's order granting Disney and food and service contractor Sodexo's motion for summary judgment. Mike Lister, a spokesman for the city of Anaheim, said Friday that the city respectfully questions the appellate court's interpretation and needs time to analyze the decision. A Disney spokesperson declined Friday to say whether the company will appeal that decision, adding it is reviewing the opinion and considering our options. It's kind of interesting that how much you're getting paid, how much you're getting paid working at Disneyland is a matter for courts to figure out.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that either. What?
Well, because there was a ballot measure, so the voters were going to decide how much you were going to get paid.
Yeah,
not you, not your boss, not your union.
No,
okay, not them. You're paying a union to represent you, but they're not going to decide how much you're going to get paid. No, it's the voters that are going to decide, and then then that's disputed, so it ends up in the courts. So now judges are going to decide how much you're going to get paid.
Man.
It's like, anyway, I'm sure there's people screaming at their screaming at me right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. You have to remember, it's not just the pay, because along with when let's say you raise pay by $5, it's actually a lot more than $5 because of everything else that you pay for when you have an employee.
Right.
You're paying for things like insurance and whatever else. So there's a whole lot more to it. So anyway, multiply that by thousands of people. And that being said, I think it behooves the park, it behooves the resort to pay enough that turnover is kept low. I think it's much better experience when the turnover isn't so high. You want people to be able to work there and not, see, geez, I got to get a different job.
Right. It's not paying enough. I need to get some, definitely more pay will attract more people, maybe better quality,
and keep them there longer.
Yeah, the quality might be higher, and the people they are hired in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to access it on the register, the Laughing Place has a story. But the Register had a story. They did an extensive story on something that you and I are familiar with, and kind of trash sorting. And this Brittany McDonald did do the story. It says she picks through Disneyland trash with one goal: zero waste by 2030. And it says here, Disneyland Environmental Integration Manager Lotus Tai picks through the trash at the Anaheim theme park, all in the name of science and in search of an elusive goal, researching zero waste to area landfills by 2030. And later on it says, Ty invited me to dig through Disneyland's trash to see how visitors dispose of their leftover hamburgers, french fries, corn dogs, churros, and Dole Whips in food-only trash cans that have been rolled out in a few locations throughout the park. Food waste studies, like the one I conducted, helped Ty and the Disneyland Environmental Integration Team figure out how to reduce food waste at 3 steps of the process: upstream with vendors, midstream with employees, and downstream with visitors. And as it says further along, Disneyland has had 2 side-by-side trash bins in the parks. The trash cans say no food or recyclables on the bin, with pictographs indicating that plastic utensils, potato chip bags, and kids' juice boxes belong in the bin. The mixed recycling cans say cans, glass, plastic, paper under a smaller slot for refuse. In a few locations, Disneyland has been testing out food-only cans labeled fruit meets desserts, with images of half-eaten hamburger, apple, and turkey leg on the side of the bin. Step 1 was to place the teal green bag of food waste on a digital scale to get a starting weight. Ty took it easy on me with a quarter bag that weighed only 4.8 pounds. Ty often tackles larger waste studies that require her to sort much fuller bags of Disneyland trash into 10 or 18 separate categories. The scientific hypothesis I was studying on this day: how many paper food boats and paper drink cups were being thrown in the food-only bins near the Galactic Grill. And it's a pretty extensive story. I mean, it's a really long story. And then later on, it says one thing Disneyland's trash sifting scientists, say that fast a bunch of times, have learned from all these waste studies is that they prefer bulk condiment stations with paper portion cups over condiment packets, because that gets the park closer to zero waste. Ultimately, the goal is to make recycling less confusing and find products that are better for the environment. Disneyland sends the food scraps collected outside the Galactic Grill and other eateries to a recycling plant that heats, filters, cleans, and ultimately reduces the leftovers to an oatmeal-like powder that smells like graham crackers without the cinnamon. What does that smell? So it smells like nothing. The powder is sold to farmers who shake it on animal feed like nutritional yeast, and ultimately helps Disneyland reduce the amount of waste that gets sent to landfill and achieve its goal of achieving a formal zero waste certification. So,
very good. But
I remember when Disneyland had just a few quote unquote recycling cans here and there. They didn't have a lot of them. And then sometime while I was there, they added a bunch more.
Yep.
And then we got into sorting, which was, because we used to just take the bags backstage. Well, then they started making us sort trash, dump the trash on this table, on this contraption, pick out the bottles and cans. But they didn't, they said just kind of skim it. They didn't want you to really dig through it, at least not at first. They said just skim it, pull the bottles and cans you see, and pull them off the side, then push the rest in. That's going to go in the packer. The bottles and cans are going to be recycled. But they've gotten more and more extensive about it now.
That was a big deal. I remember when they started that program, some people were complaining, saying cast members shouldn't have to dig through the trash, but it was,
or at least it should be spelled out in the union contract how it's done,
right? And
if there's a premium for it.
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal. Like well,
yeah, it was it was it was a big deal, and then of course it became commonplace. So
yeah. I hope they succeed in this zero waste. I just know that when you're there and you're with your family and you're trying to find a trash can and you're not looking for a specific kind of trash can, you're just looking for an opening, to dispose. And I'm guilty of that. Just, I didn't really read what it is. I'm just like, get rid of it. And I guess I need to be more aware of all that. But yeah, I mean, when you're there, you just don't think of that stuff.
Yeah.
You're on vacation. Why should you have to think?
Which one of these 18 cans do I use?
Oh, yeah. But I hope they get it together and it works out. But it's a big goal. So
yeah, I mean, I envision now we're getting into future world stuff. Epcot future world stuff. But I mean, I envision eventually, materials engineers and things like that. I mean, I could, envision that there's going to be stuff that's going to be like quickly biodegradable. For instance, you drink a bottle of Coke, and the bottle itself can like break down without being harmful materials. It's just going to, maybe and it won't take very long to break it down. Things like that, or maybe the bottle itself will be edible. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities that you can But anyway, maybe that's something for some of our younger listeners to figure out in the future. As always, micechat.com had Disneyland updates. These are always very extensive updates with lots of pictures. They had an update from July 10th, Nathan Villamore. Disneyland updates summer crowd collapse, haunted happenings, and another year older. So, another trip around the sun. And there was another update called Iger's Tightroper, Mansion Mania, and 68 Years of Magic. And that was written by someone named Mice Chat staff. That was from July 17th. So those updates, like I said, go to the sweepspot.com. You can click through and access those. Do you have any refurbishment information, Lynn?
I have quite a bit here, actually, surprisingly.
It's summertime. There shouldn't be that much.
Right.
we've discussed that before.
Yeah. So the monorail is currently down and will reopen September 1st. I think a lot of that has to do with the downtown Disney construction going on. It won't be over by September 1st, the construction, but the way it affects the monorail will be, it sounds like, temporarily. Toy Story Midway Mania will be down and reopens August 18th. So that's quite a while for that one. And that's a very popular attraction. Probably one of the longest waits in California Adventure, next to Radiator Springs Racers. Speaking of that, Radiator Springs, say that a few times fast. August 18th, it will go down. So after Midway Mania reopens, it will go down August 18th and will reopen August 27th. So a little over a week. Mr. Toad, going to be back down again. It's kind of been up and down. When we were there, 2 weeks ago or so, it was open. We were able to ride it, but it looks like it's going to go down again July 24th and will reopen on August 11th. The Redwood Creek Challenge Trail will be closed July 31st and will be back August 15th. Haunted Mansion, August 14th, will be closing and will reopen September 1st as the holiday layover. Yeah. Dumbo closes August 21st and will reopen on 22nd. So just one day. I've noticed on Dumbo, they've been doing this little one day periodically over the last year, it seems like. Yeah. Animation Academy and the Sorcery Workshop is down and does not have a return date yet.
Oh boy. As
far out as the calendar goes. The Golden Zephyr, Ken. The Golden Zephyr. Hope you're not disappointed on this one, but it's going to be closed August 28th, and there's no return date on that yet.
So you're going to have to settle for the Silver Zephyr if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's barely open. It seems like if they have any, if it gets any kind of little breeze,
if a butterfly goes by,
yeah. I don't think I've ever been on that either.
Imagine a world where butterflies run on batteries. Never mind. If you know that reference, then I'm really happy.
Yes.
Yeah. So wow.
Yes. So that's all I have for now. We'll update you in the next edition of our current events.
Before I forget, if you listen to us on Stitcher, you may not know Stitcher. I don't know, it's going away or something. It's getting absorbed, or I don't know. there's many ways to listen to the Sweep Spot. If you just do a search on the Sweep Spot podcast, you can find, we're Apple Podcasts, there's Google. There's a lot of ways to listen to the Sweep Spot. You can, follow us on YouTube.
Mhm.
So, but if you listen to us on Stitcher, I don't think you're going to be able to listen to us on Stitcher much longer. So be sure to, do follow us or like us or bookmark us or whatever somewhere else.
Yeah.
And listen that way. Tell your friends we're here. Tell your enemies we're here. Keep in mind, we alternate. We have these, these updates on what's happening now every 2 weeks. But the other weeks, we have a main topic episode. So subscribe. If you do subscribe to us, then you won't miss it.
That's right. Sounds good. Thank you for bringing us the current events, Ken, and thanks for everyone for listening. And we'll talk with you next time.